being loud in public because these cars are really loud. So here we go. This is a attention to detail. When you notice something's missing, I notice when people are wearing the same color shirts. I notice when people have got the same color hair inside of a room. This is a game. Another one is when people in a room leave and you're still the one there, keeping track of the original crowd that was still there. And so then if it's like the last one to leave is a rotten egg. Someone would say that this isn't healthy mentally, but another person, such as the person doing it, can be having an extraordinary time doing it. Or a person can be having a horrific time doing it if they're scared of their own shadow. A different game is a step aside, step to the right, away from traffic. Another game is people who have OCD. So what I just explained was a symptom of people who have overcompulsory disorder. I'm thinking of this as a strength, but when you're mentioning this to people and they want a fanciful existence where they can belittle to get to the top of the heap, they would be written off as a disability. So when I see my friend like getting his couch and putting a blanket over it and then pinching the tips of his blanket and twisting it, some people would say he has OCD, but I think it's a way of refracting a room. A way of refracting a room, so much so that it is a feng shui. This is something they taught in college. There's a feng shui to rooms, and it's a real thing because it has to do with angles. And I want like a physicist watching my video and on screen saying this isn't true. You know, he's off with this one, this isn't true. To see my percentiles. Oh wait, there's fact checkers who can probably do this. Oh wait, there's fact check. I don't want to romanticize over feelings, so let's talk about depth perception. Someone's like, what is he talking about? That doesn't make any sense. A little, what do they call it? Caveat, where acceleration is the same as velocity if you have a constant velocity. So much in the same disregard is a star and a rainbow. Think of it. There's a rainbow on the planet Earth. I'm sure we've all seen one. And then what's casting the rainbow is the sun. The sun is behind the rainbow you're seeing with your eyeball. So there's your eyeball, a rainbow, and the star behind it. So much so when there's the star and the rainbow one and the same, and what would that look like? As clear as night and day. As clear as night and day. If you're looking at a rainbow, you can see that the colors change. In between the colors that change, you would suspect black and white to be a differentiation. Am I right? All the colors together equal white light. And then the void of any light is dark. So, in order to change colors yet remained on the same band, a rainbow, a bow band, you would suspect there to be a collective of black and white. One step further is the sky. Okay, when the sky is, first off, is blue because hydrogen, much to do with water in the sky. Fact check me on, I would like to be fact checked on that one, but I'm pretty sure it's accurate. And so when the sun goes down, the sky, it turns black, is because beyond our planet, it's just black in outer space. What's so spectacular is the rainbow between the sun and another sky allows for the bands having that relation of black and white. When someone says there's always two sides to a story, this is what best representation I think that means. There was a person who was a young adult, and they ended up trying to commit a heinous crime. How they did this was they made a plan and wrote it down in paper, premeditating the circumstance. And this was so much so that when they decided to go about with the execution of the following matter, it was a ballistics effect. And too much of this effect, the premeditated writings that led up to it, showed that this person had little to no knowledge of what ballistics they were not an expert in. And do you see how I'm towing the line of like not saying the word bomb? You know, it's kind of like sad, but at the same time. On a brighter note, there a guy of the Marvel Comics who invented them, he said that there was the artwork he made describing these space stations. Now, we don't have space stations in the world because we're not sophisticated enough to have an intergalactic planetary. Shout out Beastie Boys single. So then he's like, I just make the sketches look as close as possible to looking like it is profound and well executed. So it's aesthetically pleasing. This is what the denotation in the handwriting was, but on the flip side, it was for the perpetrator writing down a heinous crime. The main thing is that they both were doing the same thing. One for elevating comics and entertainment, the other for hurting people and putting a dent in society. If you're trying to prevent a stomachache and you're eating dairy, this is a thing that can be an occurrence with getting heavy dairy. You know how many different types of dairy? There's filtrated, homogenized ones, and you can up the ante if you froth it. Why would that make a difference? Is because it would sit in your stomach different. It's just as though if you're sweeping dust, you can sweep, and then how much time you're sweeping dust for is going to account for how much is collecting inside your sinus. If you're going to be sweeping dust inside of a construction site and there will be parts of fiberglass on the floor, it's that in your sinus equal to like 5 minutes of sweeping is worse than 5 hours of sweeping just regular dust. A hyperextension, it exists so things that aren't overlooked. If there was a degree that was freedom, so much so that there weren't limits, this would entail a catastrophe when it came to rehabilitation, because the threshold would never quite seem it. So with there being limits, I mean, think of the most horrendous things in your life. In history, we're living in the times where there's been the most politicized scare in human history, okay?